When a matter that has streamed well stops, then we'll know the value of it. Long ago, we had a time of power cut. The light went off suddenly. Then what did we do? Someone didn't wait and went to sleep. Someone waited long until the light comes back. Someone lightened the candle and did something that was important but had been put off long. Our Bible shows three patterns of waiting. How long He is in coming. For us, thinking like this, Jesus taught His advent with this parable. 10 virgins taking their lamps went out to meet the bridegroom, but he was tardy. Foolish fivers did not take any oil with the lamps. They all became drowsy and fell asleep. But at midnight, the signs of his coming, 10 virgins hurried to trim the lamp, but the foolish fivers had not oil. They asked the wise fivers to give some, but could not get. While they were on the way to buy the oil, he came, and the door to the wedding banquet was shut. The second case of person is showing up in Luke chapter 2, the old Simeon. He was called to wait Messiah. He waited and waited until he became like an old tree, and he met Messiah. When baby Jesus came up to the temple with his parents, Simeon embraced the baby and proclaimed him to the Messiah, to the world. He shouted, "Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you now dismiss your servant in peace." How tough his waiting was. What a peace his dismiss. And the third here, he thinks this pride will go away sooner or later. Let's do the things that will be necessary when this adversity went away. To him, the time of waiting is equally valuable to the coming days. They are the cooperative two wheels of a cart. He is Paul, the genius and stubborn. He thought Jesus was killed on the cross. But he met the living Jesus on the way running to kill another Christian. He heard Jesus saying, "Paul, Paul, why are you persecuting me?" On that day, he was rendered his lifetime mission. Got shocked, rose again, went to Arabia where no one knew him, investigated Jesus with his whole heart, looked into what he had done to the Messiah, made mind to be his servant, waited till he was called to work for Jesus. Years went, so long as he was nearly forgotten, but he knew he was once the enemy of Jesus. The Dr. Hepburn, James Curtis Hepburn, who came to Japan 170 years ago as a medical missionary, was the other Paul. Japan just opened the door for missionaries, was just beginning its civilization, but acts of the missionaries were strictly prohibited. Years passed, but permission not yet. Could regret came why? Could do small things, escaping the eyes of the government, grumbling. But he changed the waiting years to preparing time. He translated the Old and the New Testament into Japanese and published the English-Japanese dictionary in those years. They were the first for Japan, and they became the foundation not only for their missionary works, but also for the civilization of Japan. Paul and Hepburn, they had all the reason how they could do that in that circumstances without moving. The conviction in Jesus that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance produces character, the character produces hope. Having hope in suffering is our shape living the world. New coronavirus disaster is now ongoing. We can't gather together in church. Someday it will go away. But after that we see is many of the church members also not there in church and weaken the church. Can we admit it? Christianity has been challenged from the world and its people from the beginning. The plight is a fate for Christianity in this world. But church is existing here, has progressed forward, and is in the center of the providence of God. The verse in Paul's letter to the Romans, the meaning of suffering, perseverance, character, hope, makes us rejoice, makes us win enough, embracing the world. How about if we only suffer, producing nothing? Vacant. No perseverance will be born. Society wavers, peoples give up their life, companies stop their plans. Some hunch comes and goes in mind. Become more alone. Society goes colder. Less helping hands when I call help. Unfortunately, your presentiment is to the point. This is a day, as in the flood, but no water to drink. Days in the flood of our knowledge, philosophies, arts, politics, but no relief. Days of thirst that cannot be satisfied by the world, but only be with the living words from the mouth of God. Days that everyone feels safe by only grasping someone strong. But the one who knows the fruit of suffering comes next has the room. Why don't we make this time of suffering the days to prepare? That Paul and Dr. Hepburn did that was when they were in suffer. The Job came out as gold to have the more heaven-colored gift was from his suffering days. Waiting only is not the will of God. It is a time to prepare the next, the time rechecking of our faith that we have believed it is enough. It is aware we are worthy. The world will require us harder things and go one step forward to the ends of the God's providence. Peoples from every corner of the world will clamor, but nothing they can get. But here is the word. Everyone has once heard. It has been the word just for this time now. Jesus says, "So I say to you, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. Which of your fathers, if your son asks for a fish, will give him a snake instead? Or if he asks for an egg, we'll give him a scorpion. If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gift to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give the Holy Spirit to those who ask him? The Holy Spirit, the best gift he gives us. Holy Spirit is the God himself in us. It is the time to change us to the character, having Holy Spirit in us. Our seniors of faith in suffering were so. They laid the jumping stones across the river for us. The day for the heaven is not far. We are in the suffering yet. It is a time to receive the best, Holy Spirit. Let's call him to come in me.